So it seems that in the hands of Charles Leclerc, the SF-25 lapped the Fiorano circuit a whole second quicker than that of the SF-24. That is some of these sensational headlines that some of these media outlets are reporting on. And of course, Lewis Hamilton being 8 tenths behind. Now, what this video is about is kind of debunking these bloody videos, but also explaining why these aren't really anything to be taken seriously or to be excited about. Now, outside of all the variables from the 2 different years and shakedown days of both of those cars, and say they were all equal, that would be the time of day, the same tyre wear, the same fuel loads, and of course that the wind was exactly the same at every single corner. This wouldn't be anything to be getting excited about, because if you think about it, what has happened through 2024 and then the Fiorano shakedown for 2025? Well, of course, there's a whole year of in-season development from where the SF-24 began that shakedown test, where it set its fastest lap time, to where the SF-25 did its. And of course, I'm talking about all of the in-season development since the beginning in Bahrain all the way to the last race in Abu Dhabi. I'm talking about the side pod overbites, the new front wing which is flexing, and of course numerous other iterations of the floor, and so on and so forth. Now this of course would mean that the SF-24 would continuously get quicker throughout the season. And so to take what these sensationalist publications are doing with their headlines is an absolute load of rubbish. If you actually think about it, if the SF-24 at the end of last season was to lap the Fiorano circuit like it would have at the beginning of the season, it too would have been quicker than the launch specification of SF-24. So it's almost an irrelevant lap time to be getting excited about. But of course, this is the media and they're reporting on these kind of clickbaity headlines. Now, of course, you may say, I've done that myself, but the whole point of it is because I want to kind of debunk and explain to you all why it's nothing to be getting ahead of in terms of excitement. And of course, there is also the issue of just how YouTube runs its things and how you get clicks and views on your videos. So of course, these are unfortunate circumstances from which people will be getting excited about. But what we can say for certain is, even if the end of season SF-24 lapped the Fiorano circuit, it would have been slower than what this launch spec of SF-25 managed. And that is, of course, because they've had a whole winter to go over all of the data that they gathered throughout the 2024 season to see where the weaknesses were on the SF-24, even at its late stage of the season, and make changes to it. And it's just the natural progression of a Formula One car and a Formula One team's life cycle within a set of regulations. A car year on year should be getting quicker from the end point of a season to the beginning of the next season. That is just how F1 works. So there's really nothing to be getting excited about. And then of course we have all of the other variables at play that we have no idea on. That is the fuel load, the set of tires that we use, the lifespan of those tires, how much more worn were the SF-24s or the 25s over the other car, and the fuel loads, and of course the engine modes, because this is a shakedown from which any team can run the engine in any given mode that they have available within their power unit. This isn't like a Grand Prix weekend from which you have to literally use a set specification of engine mode throughout the event and pretty much throughout the entire season, because of course they have the rule where you can only use 4 power units without incurring a penalty at the beginning of a whole season without doing so. So these are the things you have to really take into consideration when you see these clickbait headlines and these sensational news articles, because they're not really giving you the full story of what is actually having taken place. And there are even more variables. For example, how hard was Leclerc pushing from last year to this year? Was the weather colder? Was the weather warmer? Because all of these things and all of these factors have a huge effect and role on how a Formula One car is performing. Say, for example, Leclerc was running in a higher engine mode with the SF-25, but not pushing anywhere near as much as he was with the SF-24. And then you take into consideration gusts of wind at a certain point on a lap, because the Fiorano circuit is very much open in like a countryside sort of little town, really. There's wind coming from all sorts of angles, and as we all know, if a gust of wind catches a Formula One car, specifically in this ground effect era, it can really have a huge impact on the handling throughout a corner that it's occurring in. So yeah, these are the things I would not be getting excited about. Yes, it's good to know it lapped quicker, as it should be doing that, and it will undoubtedly have lapped quicker than the season-ending SF-24 could have ever managed. So yes, you can get excited, but you cannot get too excited, because there are also factors outside of Ferrari, like what are the other teams doing? How much have they improved with their 2025 Formula One cars? Have McLaren taken a bigger leap in the off-season than Ferrari? Have Mercedes done so? Have Red Bull done so? These lap times are only concerning Ferrari and don't give a big, wide picture of it up against all of the teams. Now, if we were to have gotten all of the big four teams testing at the same time, at the same moment, with Ferrari at Fiorano and Ferrari lap quicker, then you might be able to get a little bit of a feel for what is to come. But yeah, really a long-winded video here, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention, just not to get excited by it. But anyway guys, I am going to wrap this video up here. We have a lot more videos to come this day. We've got the proper shakedown of the AMR 25. We have the new W16 debuting today. So look out for those videos on this channel as and when they drop their videos for their Formula One cars. Anyway guys, I'll catch you all later today with some more Formula One content. I'll catch you all then.